Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, founder of Fire Drill Fridays, and this is Action Planet.
I'm not a scientist, but my lay understanding of the science is that the situation is growing more and more urgent.
When you take action, your life gets a meaning. When you get a meaning in life, you become happy.
When people connect, they care.
When you're feeling well and doing well, you have no choice but to be well to the planet.
We are up to the task of managing this crisis.
And it's a mountain we can climb if we climb it together.
If we don't do what science demands, we pass a tipping point, and it's out of our control. I was very depressed in 2019 because I knew I wasn't doing enough. I'd done all the individual things that a person can do to minimize our carbon footprint. And together with Greenpeace, we started to develop what's come to be called the Fire Drill Fridays, and we did them every week for 4 months, and it became quite a big thing. And now it's gone national, and I've continued it virtually. The Fire Drill Friday that sticks out the most to me, my favorite in a way, was December 21st. That Friday, we focused on health and the climate crisis. I was going to turn 82 the next day, and a lot of friends of mine came from all over the country, and we were all arrested together, and I didn't end up turning 82 in jail. For some reason, they decided not to. I think they felt that it would have attracted too much attention. It was the best birthday party I ever had. I went to Minnesota to try to bring national attention to the Enbridge Line 3 pipeline, which is bringing the worst, most poisonous tar sands oil from Canada through Minnesota, under 200 bodies of water, including the headwaters of the Mississippi, where it will eventually end up in the Gulf of Mexico, and much of it will be exported. This is breaking treaty rights with the Anishinaabe Ojibwe people there. It is endangering very precious waterways. People have heard of the Standing Rock Dakota pipeline. They've heard of the Keystone XL. Line 3 is every bit as dangerous, and we want to raise awareness and stop it. The pipelines are important because we're facing an existential climate crisis. The major cause of the climate crisis are fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas. Science has been very clear. We have to keep the warming at, not above, 1.5 degrees Celsius. We have to cut our fossil fuel emissions in half in 10 years and then begin a gradual phase out. So we have to stop all of these new pipelines. We have to stop all the drilling and the fracking and the coal mining, and we have to do it fast. If we don't do what science demands, we pass a tipping point, and it's out of our control. Not enough of us understand that we are able to live because of healthy ecosystems. We get our oxygen from oceans and forests. It's a little like Goldilocks. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's just right. This little blue planet of ours just happens to be just right for human life. And if that just right goes away, so do we. Too many people still think that we are dependent on fossil fuel and that a managed transition off of fossil fuel is not possible because the alternatives are not ready. The fact is that a green, renewable energy sector is expanding by the day all over the world. Wind turbines, solar panels, photovoltaic cells that turn sunlight into energy. And what's important is the price has plummeted much faster than anyone expected. So they've become much less expensive and certainly not damaging like fossil fuels. The Biden administration understands. We just have to make sure that they are pressured to do it and do it immediately. Generally speaking, water protectors are indigenous men and women, tend to be more women. Women are in the lead of the climate movement, no question. And they are the people that are standing up against the pipelines, against the fossil fuel industries, trying to protect their water. The fact that these pipelines put this water in danger, we can't live without water, It's a sin. So the women that are standing up to protect the water are the water protectors. People can do a lot of things from home during the pandemic. I've discovered this. I've continued the Fire Drill Fridays virtually since the beginning of the pandemic until now.
Don't trust our party.
We have on average 80, 90, 100,000 every Friday. And like before the election, they volunteered to call voters who had sat out the last election. They're texting, they're writing, they're calling, and most of them, and this is what I love, have never done it before. We're bringing in new people to the climate movement who have never been activists before. And across the boards, they love it. They're making new friends. They're joining a new community. They're overcoming their depression. It's very beautiful. There are not very many climate deniers left. You know, even the fossil fuel industry, they don't say there's no climate crisis. They say, we are going to change our ways and we are going to become major players in the green revolution. It's poppycock. Don't believe that these fossil fuel companies are going to do it, or carbon capture and storage. We don't have that kind of technology. We don't have time to make mistakes because they lied to us for so long. They denied what they knew. And as a result, we have a very small window of opportunity and a very small carbon budget if we want to keep the warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius. We have to follow the science. That's what they're telling us. It's going to be very hard. It's going to take all of us, and we have to be prepared to take action, go into the streets, engage in civil disobedience, and put our bodies on the line as soon as it's safe. Right now, I would say my favorite R is reduce. We have to reduce consumption. You know, when I started Fire Drill Fridays in 2019, I realized how bad our overconsumption is for the planet, and I vowed I would never buy another piece of new clothing, and I never have. I bought a red coat on sale. That's the last article of clothing I will ever buy. I stopped drinking a juice that I loved because it came in plastic bottles. We have to cut back. We have to cut way, way back. We cannot find happiness or identity through shopping. I'm hopeful for the planet because of young people. I think that what is happening with the young climate activists is absolutely critical. In 2019, when between the Sunrise Movement, Extinction Rebellion, Fridays for Future of Greta Thunberg's organization, there were uprisings of millions and millions and millions of young people all over the world. That was a major wake-up call. That really alerted people to the fact that, oh, we've got to do something about this. It was huge, and they continue to be a huge influence on the successes of the climate movement. I'm also hopeful for the planet because apparently, according to research, there are 25 million Americans that know there's a climate crisis and are worried about it. They haven't done anything because nobody asked them, but that's why we're doing this. That's why I started Fire Drill Friday. I want to ask them, come on, join me. I'm an old lady. If I can do it, you can do it. And women are pretty much always in the lead.